Now to the latest on a hot political topic in Florida. As a matter of fact, a few of them. Governor Ron DeSantis today signed a higher education reform bill into law.
And the governor wants to see Disney stripped of its self-governing powers. Joining us now is Dr. Frederick Hunter Jr. He is chair of social studies at Florida Memorial University. We thank you so much for joining us. So let's dive right into some of these topics. First of all, the higher reform law could make it easier to oust tenured professors. And of course, there's a political overtone to this. But what impact might this have on keeping the best educators at state universities, do you think?
So it presents a number of issues for institutions of higher learning. One of the things about tenure and promotion is that it protects faculty to engage in honest and accurate research once they get to a certain level. But now that you take away that ability by building these provisions, it diminishes the capacity for them to engage in that process. Additionally, what it also means is that with regard to recruiting, faculty won't necessarily see Florida as an ideal state in which to pursue much of their faculty status as they think about their careers.
Professor, Governor DeSantis wants lawmakers to strip Disney of self-governing power, which they've enjoyed for decades. How do you see Disney fighting back here?
So Disney can do a number of things. One of the things about it is Disney probably won't be directly impacted by it, but it will impact many of the businesses around Disney. But more importantly, when we think about the priorities of these neighboring communities, they'll really have to redefine what their priorities are. And when they bring in a major player like Disney, then that's really going to put them in an awkward position as they think about many of the other aspects that they think are really important to their communities.
And of course, Professor, a special session being called right now to deal with congressional redistricting. Of course, that's been a very hot topic too. The governor says his new map prevents racial gerrymandering, but critics say in effect it diminishes black representation. So where do you see this issue landing?
So it's going to produce a number of issues, right? One of the things that we'll see in 2022 is that it really probably won't impact that election, but for 2024, it really impact as legislators seek out legal reform in regards to this. One of the things about this is that because of the population growth within the state, the House has got an additional seat, which requires that they engage in this process of redrawing the district map. But one of the things that it does is, because DeSantis has drawn the map in such a way, it'll give Republicans essentially 20 seats compared to 8 seats for Democrats, and which is compared to right now, which is 16 to 11. And so this really means that for Democratic representation, it really diminishes that capacity for them, but also diminishes the capacity for individuals of specific groups not to be heard when we're talking about what's going on in within D.C.
Well, given the power that Governor DeSantis has and the Republican Party has in the legislature, do you see any of them going against Governor DeSantis on these new maps?
Well, I could see them going against him, but they've already made a statement that they won't. Essentially paving the way for him to do whatever he wanted with drawing the map. One of the things about it that we must notice that the Florida Constitution gives the legislators the responsibility to draw these maps, but they've essentially stepped away from it and said DeSantis can do anything he wants.
All right, Dr. Frederick Hunter Jr., we thank you for your time as the chair of social studies at Florida Memorial. Thank you for trying to break down some very complicated topics for us.
All right, thank you very much. We apologize for some of the audio difficulties there.